What's going on? What's going on, guys? Jay the Black here. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to react to this video clip of Deontay Wilder, boxer Deontay Wilder. He was doing an interview and he spoke about his ex and the fact that he embraced her son as his. They were together, I believe, almost 10 years. They were engaged. The relationship fell apart right around the Tyson Fury fights. And she claimed that he was abusive to her. She filed an order of protection. That's when they broke up, right? Didn't really haven't heard anything much in regards to those two since then. Well, he's doing this interview and he talks about how he put her son in his will while they were together. And the son then tells him that Deontay's not his father. Even though Deontay had basically been a father to him for years because his other father wasn't there, he removed the son from the will. Now, mind you, Deontay Wilder has other children, but this is why I can't accept being a stepfather in 2025, because not only are the women ungrateful, but it seems like the children can be ungrateful as well, because what happens is the mother will put the child, will pit them against the stepfather whenever she wants out of the relationship. I believe that Zelly wanted out of the relationship. You know why I say that? Is because a couple months after she separated from Deontay Wilder, this is right around the time they were still going to court against each other, she started dating an NFL player by the name of John Johnson. He was playing for the Rams at the time. This was what, about 2 years ago? So right after she separated from Deontay Wilder, made all these claims that he was so abusive to her, he spat on her. Just a few months later, she was walking into court with this guy. Again, we don't know what's going on. I'm not going to sit here and just take her side on these allegations, okay, with no proof. If y'all seen proof of the abuse, y'all can let me know, but I haven't. Everything is alleged. But she moved on relatively quickly after Deontay Wilder. I also believe that he believed that she was cheating on him. Now, you're not going to see that. Now, I'm not here to defend Deontay Wilder's behavior. I think that Deontay Wilder, I think he was deeply depressed. And that caused a lot of friction in the relationship. Again, I'm not here to make any justifications for abuse, but like I said, I haven't seen any proof of it still. If y'all have seen it, y'all can let me know. But I just think she wanted out. And women will say anything to get out of a relationship. He put her out of his home. He put her and her son out of his home, the Atlanta home. So there's a lot that was going on, but people are going, of course, they're going to believe the woman, because why not? Let's get into this clip.
I took the role of being your son's father, not just a daddy, but a father. Right. I went in so hard, bro. I went in so hard because I went in so hard to the point where I put them on my wheel. I had a meeting with my kids. I said, how y'all feel if I scoot y'all over? I scoot over a little slide and let somebody else get a little bit of it. And you know, my kids are amazing. They're my best friend. And they was down with it. So I moved a little space over and added her son in on my motherfucker. You ain't even my son for real. Right. You know what I mean?
That's taking toll.
I put her in my will as well.
He put her in his will as well. Bro, she was only there because you were making a lot of money and you were famous. I don't think that she really was looking at it that way. You know, and again, people are going to bring up, oh, he was beating on her, all of those things, right? When we still have yet to see any proof of this, but people still bring that out, right? But the fact that he was willing to leave this earth and give them a portion of his money tells you a lot. That he's a stand-up dude. It ain't a lot of them out here. But he was willing to do that for her and her child. because she probably came to him and told him that the other father wasn't there and that her son needed a man to step up and be a father. And he did that. And you know what he got? Domestic violence allegations, right? Her taking the new guy to court with her to throw it in his face.
So, you was just my girlfriend. You ain't even my wife.
I hope that still ain't dead, man.
Yeah, man.
I hope that still ain't.
One time the son said, you ain't my daddy. Now that's one thing you don't say to a man that ain't your daddy. Don't remind him that you ain't his daddy. You know what I'm saying? Don't remind me that.
And I've heard a lot of stories like that. I've heard a lot of stories of these children telling them the one man, because their biological father ain't there. I've heard a lot of stories of these children telling these stepfathers, you're not my real daddy. But your real father ain't there because of your mother, and your mother pushing him out of the picture. Because that's what these women do. They push the fathers of these children, the biological fathers of these children, out of these children's lives. And then they go and they try to put a new man in these child's life. Maybe this is why Telly still hasn't moved on yet. I don't think she's with John Johnson anymore. But you got to be careful with these single mothers, especially women who are social climbers, women who want to be famous, women who want to be on reality shows. You got to be very careful of getting with those women. Now, he was with this woman for over 10 years. But you still have, you have to be conscientious of the fact that this woman is looking for a come up. And also, this is one of the reasons why men just don't want to be stepfathers. Because what do you get out of it? Disrespect. These kids telling you you're not their real father when the real father's not even there. Unbelievable.
I took the role of being your son's father, not just a daddy, but a father.
Right.
I went in so hard, bro. I went in so hard to the point where I put them on my wheel. I had a meeting with my kids. I said, how y'all feel about scoot y'all over? I'll scoot over a little slide and let somebody else get a little bit of it. And my kids are amazing. They're my best friend. And they was down with it. So I moved a little space over and added her son in on my motherfucker. You ain't even my son for real.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That has to take a toll.
I put her in my wheel as well too. Yeah. You was just my girlfriend. You ain't even my wife.
I hope that still ain't dead, man.
Yeah, man.
I hope that still ain't.
One time the son said, you ain't my daddy. Now that's one thing you don't say to a man that ain't your daddy. Don't remind him that you ain't his daddy. You know what I'm saying? Don't remind me that.
Again, what you want to know why men don't want to be stepfathers? Because at some point they're going to be reminded as to why you're not the real father. And it's due to the fact that these women be pushing the real fathers out of these children's lives. Because I don't think Deontay would have done that if the biological father was actually in that young man's life. But he wasn't. Due to the fact that the mother wanted Deontay to be the father. These women want to pick and choose who the father of their children is. And then you wonder why these young men are so dysfunctional. They have issues, trust issues. They have issues connecting because their mother is too busy looking to be with this guy and that guy. And then they put that child in situations where this is your new father at this point. This is your new father. You know what I'm saying? It really messes up their psyche. And you wonder why these young men, when they get older, they can't make connections. They don't want families. Why do you think that is? Or they'll have children and they don't take care of it because they never had stability when it comes to father figures. Now, again, people are going to bring up the allegations. Again, allegations. Now, a restraining order was granted for her, but I mean, we've seen restraining orders granted all the time. People are going to use that against Deontay Wilder. I just believe that, he's a guy that was trying too hard to impress a woman that only saw him as a meal ticket. She only saw him as an opportunity for a come up. And when she realized that things were changing, she wanted out. She wanted out. But that ultimately doesn't take away from the fact that Deontay still tried to be a father to her child, only for the child to say that he's not his daddy, man. It's unbelievable. This is why dating single mothers is pointless. What do you get from it? This isn't like it was 40, 50 years ago. You see, nowadays being a stepfather, it gets you nothing but disrespect. No matter how well you take care of him, the child and the mother, you're still going to get disrespected. So what's the point of it? So let me know in the comment section on me thoughts, like the video and share it. Follow me on all my social media platforms, and I'll see y'all next one.